Hello, children. It is I, your friendly neighborhood rave, saying hello. How you been? How you doing? It's been a while. I know. This is not a video about new music or the new album. That's going to be announced very soon, so stay posted. This is about something else. The news I have to share with you today is arguably, depending on who you are and how long you've known me, bigger news. Some would even say a bigger deal. What could be more important than new music, you ask? Well, I'm glad you did ask, because I'm about to tell you. Children, let me take you back to the dewy slopes of yesteryear, which was a Tuesday. Your boy, young Rave, baby Rave, as we've come to know any Rave in the past, he was starting his hand off in this whole music thing, taking it seriously, looking to perform, doing live shows, and naturally coming into his own as an artist. A lot of times the look comes with it. Now, my look was never premeditated. Honestly, it kind of just happened. Equal parts randomness, equal parts laziness, maybe sprinkle some kismet in there. But since that time, and for the longest time, if you ask people to describe your boy the Rave, they would say, oh, he's got long hair. You see where I'm going with this? Yes, children, it is finally time. For the first time since 2015, possibly even 14, I can't exactly remember, but I'm pretty sure 15, I am going to get a haircut.
No, God!
Now, a lot of you might be asking, why?
No, God, please, no! No!
Why would you want to get a haircut? Some of you might be screaming at this right now, saying, don't get your haircut.
No!
I know who some of you are. That's cool. Thank you. However, it is super time. I've been flirting with the idea of getting my hair cut every now and again. I think that's par for the course when you have long hair. For me, what I've usually done over the years is I'd grow my hair long, and then I'd cut it short, and then I'd grow it long again, and then I'd cut it short, etc., etc., etc. But since Spells and Curses started, I had a lot less time to go to the barber shop. And just by the nature of being in music, you're always pulled in 1,000 different directions. And a lot of times, getting a haircut isn't a major priority. It's not high on the to-do list. It was also around this time that I was taking my hair care seriously. I had a lot of you on Instagram hit me up with your best recommendations about how to manage all my hair issues, including my frizz, my dreaded frizz. I learned about things like hair porosity, learned about hair textures and what each texture requires in order for the strand to stay healthy, etc., etc., etc. But if I could get real with you, let me take this off because I'm going to get real with you. This is between you and me now. The only reason I had long hair is because I was too lazy to get it cut. That's it. It wasn't a political statement. It wasn't a fashion choice. It wasn't me doing anything. I wasn't trying to say or do anything or look any certain way. It was just, I had a lot of other things to do, and I was just lazy. And also, I also had a goal of trying to grow my hair. This is funny. I had a goal where I wanted to grow my hair so that it could at least cover my ass. And I did it. I did it. I'm not going to necessarily provide pictures here, but I did it.
Are you serious?
That's a long story. You might be asking yourself, why at this current moment in your life do you want to get a haircut? Well, the answer to that is pretty interesting. Earlier this year, I was talking to somebody, and one of the things they brought up to me, and this is something that I've also been looking into myself, but it kind of was perfect timing, where they brought it up to me and made me think about this topic a lot more, and the topic was trauma. So hear me out. The basic premise essentially goes like this. When we as people experience trauma or experience any kind of hardship or anything that really stresses us out, we personally might forget that feeling eventually down the line, but your body holds on to it. And what that means is if you go through a traumatic experience in your life or any kind of stressful, super stressful event, 10 years, 5 years down the line, if you think about it, if you remember that moment, just by simply remembering that moment in your mind's eye, your body will feel the exact same way it felt during the moment of trauma. Obviously to a diminished degree, but it'll feel the trauma and the pain and the nervousness and the anxiousness nonetheless. And that's why people emphasize things like therapy and meditation to teach people, how to separate themselves from their thoughts. Because putting distance between you and it allows you to not have those thoughts control you or hurt you even. So extending this line of thought a little bit deeper, there are those who believe that people who experience trauma hold it in their hair. And so the idea is the more your hair grows, the more it sort of is smeared with previous years of trauma, previous moments of trauma and discomfort. I don't know about you guys, but the last 3 years have been collectively, as a human race, we can all admit it's been traumatic for everyone. We've seen a lot of things that we never imagined we'd see. Just on a global scale, we've gone through things that have been incredibly, for lack of a better word, traumatic. So that's just being a human, right? But then there's an added layer of being you and your own life. What's happening in your life? Is everything going hunky-dory? If it is, I hope that lasts forever. But for some people, they've experienced certain changes in their life. Perhaps somebody passed away, or perhaps they lost a job, or something new happened. Something new yet traumatic happened. I think this applies pretty worldwide for everyone. And this is a funnier kind of example of this, there was this meme that was going around that kind of reinforces this idea that basically says, what is the first thing that girls do when they break up or get out of a relationship? They do something to their hair. They either dye it or they cut it or something like that. A lot of times it is maybe perhaps a mental thing of just telling yourself and convincing yourself you've moved on and you're better, you're on a new path, you're continuing your journey with a new perspective. Perhaps it's something a bit more than being just symbolic. I'm open to both. And by both I mean something symbolic and something actually practical. Speaking of practical, I kind of forgot what it's like having short hair. Like I mentioned before, I would grow my hair out, I'd cut it, grow my hair out, cut it. I'm somebody who really enjoys every now and again looking in the mirror and kind of just going, who's that? That's why sometimes I grow facial hair, because it's weird, especially if I do something interesting with the facial hair. But it's been a while since I've had that sort of who's that moment from my hair. That's going to be interesting too. But really, again, because I've been growing my hair out since 2015, I've experienced so many experiences and moments that aren't necessarily traumatic, but things that I'm sort of ready to move on from and ready to grow from. And I want to have a marking date mentally. This is when I am beginning to start a new phase. And not just musically. I'm not just talking about like my professional life. Yes, the album's going to come out. Yes, it's got some of my favorite music I've ever done. All that's great. But this is about something more. This is about clearing up the mental cache you've built up in the past. However many years you've been growing your hair out. Do the math. I did a lot of homework. Not that much. For those that know me. No, I like things pretty simple. But I did enough that I feel confident in my choice of who is going to cut my hair. I'm going to be honest and say that I haven't had the best experience with people cutting my hair. You know, it's a very weird shape. It's a very, very weird face I got going on here. And it's very hard to find people that know what to do with it when they have shears and clippers. That's why growing it out and doing the whole Jesus thing, it's just the look that kind of fit. Again, by accident. It was never by purpose. But I was recommended a stylist that I'm going to go later today to get my hair cut. That's so weird to say. And it's making me a little nervous because, quite honestly, I've never had a short haircut that I've ever liked. There were some that, like, I didn't mind. There was never one that I was like, damn, there we go. That's me. You know, like long hair, that's me. I love my long hair. I love having long hair. I love the lifestyle involved with maintaining long hair. Can't say I've ever had that same feeling with short hair. Some of my worst haircuts have been short haircuts. And, I mean, that's how Spells and Curses started. I had that kind of short hair look going. I don't think I want to do that. I want to try something new. It's all about evolution. It's all about evolving, growing as a person, performer, artist, mostly a person. And this is going to be fun because hopefully by the time this all happens, I'll be debuting this haircut on the road. So that should be fun. It's really happening. The 7 to 8 year journey of growing my hair to my ass.
Very funny.
I'd say is mission fairly successful. Now it's time to do it all over again, maybe. I already have in mind about where I want to and how I want to donate my hair because I'm going to donate a huge chunk of it. That's all sorted. So now, honestly, it's just a matter of getting it done and looking good. And I hope it looks good. Anyway, the next time you see me, I will be a new and hopefully improved Rave. Yeah. Wish me luck.
Later that same evening.
Wow. Hello there. So you might be wondering, why am I wearing a hat? Especially after getting a haircut.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, that's not good.
It's fairly obvious, I think. So there's no two ways to say it, so I'll just say it. I have a terrible haircut. I'm still trying to decide if it's the second worst haircut I've ever gotten or the third, but it's definitely top 3. I had footage, like proper vlogging footage of my morning, my commute to the place, to the salon that I was going to go to get my haircut. Footage of me getting my hair cut. And what's funny is I was looking over it. The whole experience was great up until a point. You can literally see on my face the moment where I go, oh, you're messing this up. Yeah, I'm not really happy. Goes without saying. I am very, very disappointed in the outcome. It looks really awful. It looks so bad. I don't want anyone to ever see it. I was considering going to a barbershop that I've gone to for like 20 plus years or whatever. The place where I get the high and tight, you know. But that's so boring. I don't want to do that. I don't want to cut my hair too short because then that's just prolonging the amount of time I'd have to wait before it starts growing out again. I like long hair. Let's talk about what happened, basically. So I'm not going to mention where I went. I'm not going to mention who cut my hair because that's not going to do any good for anybody. The person that I went to get my hair cut by came to me very highly referred because the person, my friend who referred me, they are very particular about their hair. They're very they're the type of person who, even if it's off by like a millimeter, they'll be like, excuse me. They're very particular about their looks. And I'm like, this is my person to ask who they would recommend. And they recommended me this person. So I went to this stylist's salon and it was great. You know, they were very nice. It's a very lovely and welcoming salon. Went in, started getting the work. They started cutting the hair, styling it. Prior to the actual appointment, which was a couple hours ago, we had been exchanging emails. I told him, hey, so-and-so referred me to you. I'm looking to get my haircut. I literally sent him pictures. This is what I want. Multi-angle pictures of the same cut. This is what I'm going for. Can you do it? He said yes. Meet up with him today. Again, reiterating, this is what I want. Can you do it? Yes. I even show him pictures. This is what I don't want. I'm not a hair rookie. I know a thing or two about hair, so I know sort of the pitfalls that can come with asking for this kind of hairstyle. It's nothing crazy. I don't have like a mohawk under here, but I showed him multiple pictures of what I do not want. He's like, got you. Got you. Yes, understand. And again, the guy who cut my hair, I think he's a nice guy. I just don't know why the hell he would go and give me the exact haircut I said I don't want. Nothing really close to what I wanted. He gave me the exact pictures of what I said I didn't want.
You had one job.
You know what's the funny part? This hairstyle that's flopping on my freaking head right now. It's like a kind of like a quality cut. Like the guy knows what he's doing, right? And on anybody else's head, it might look good, but for my head, shape, my face, it doesn't work. It's disgusting. I look like a clown. On the way back home, I felt like a clown. It was an awful experience. You know, my last terrible haircut was a decade ago. And that's because within a good chunk of that decade, I didn't get a haircut. Because every time I go to a stylist and I try to get something other than tight on the sides and leave some on the top, if I ask for anything that's just outside of the box, a little bit for a man's haircut, they always mess it up. Without exception, they will screw it up somehow. I don't know what it is. It's like if you're not a girl and you want to get a hairstyle that is a little bit, not even left of center, it's just not the norm, go to a female stylist, a male stylist, go to high-end stylists, go to salons, go to barbershops, Queens, Manhattan, Brooklyn, doesn't matter. I've done it all. They will screw it up. That's my experience. That's been my experience. That's why I usually don't cut my hair. The best my hair has ever looked is when I don't let anybody else touch it. I'm venting now. This is the point where I'm letting a little anger out. And believe me when I tell you, this is like 8 hours after the fact, after I got the haircut. So this is me a lot more calm. I did meditation. I did all the things I needed to do to get myself to at least even like talk without screaming and being profane with my language. When the guy was cutting my hair, he was doing a good job up until a point. And then this lady comes in, I guess that's his friend or something, and he just starts talking to her, right? Like he literally stops my haircut, gives her a hug. And that's great, you know. Hug your friend, do whatever happens. But that's literally the point where he started cutting off too much. That's the issue here, is that he started cutting off too much. Yeah, everything went downhill from there. And I don't know if it was because he was talking to that lady or he just, I don't know, didn't have an idea of what I wanted. But he literally, I showed this man pictures. This is what I don't want. And he gave me that.
You done up now!
So I don't know what to do. You know, I had some videos I wanted to shoot and some music videos I wanted to shoot, but I'm not going to do that. I had some things planned that I wanted to do. Not sure if I want to do them anymore. I really don't want anyone to ever see me with this haircut. I don't know if it's salvageable, to be completely honest with you. I have to experiment with styling this monstrosity on my head to see if it's usable. Not usable, like if it's freaking me, because it's not. So right now what I'm doing is accepting the fact that I'm going to have to wear a hat for the majority of the summer, which sucks because it's really hot. And I don't really like wearing hats. In the winter, that's fine. I have my beanie, you know. But I don't like wearing hats during the summer because it's itchy. And I don't want to put product in my hair to style it so that it stays a certain way because that's annoying. But it looks like I'm going to have to. I was thinking about going to a barbershop and having this fixed, but honestly, I don't trust anyone with my hair anymore. When it comes to me and having hair that's not long, but that's styled in something other than what I always get when I cut it short, when it comes to anything else or asking for anything else, it just never happens. So I'm done with any of that. When you get like a bad haircut, that's something you get when you're in high school, which I did, or college, which I did, but not when you're an adult, you know? I feel like when you're an adult, you should have your style more or less figured out. But I wanted to try something new. There's a part of me that still wants to try this hairstyle because I think it might work. But I have trust issues with hairstylists now because it's not the same as like working with a mix engineer where, you know, they send you a mix and you go, well, actually the bass is too high on this. Can we undo that? Or can we lower this and raise that? There's no do-overs. They can't stick the hair back where it was.
Wishful thinking!
The silver lining is that the hair will be donated. So there's that. It just would have been nice to have a nice haircut and a good feeling instead of having to, for the next 6 to 8 months, wear hats. You know what I'm upset about even more so is that I tipped the guy.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
This is probably my third or fourth, like, terrible haircut. And each time, I never have the guts to be like, you messed this up. Because at that point, it's like, the deed's done. They might have ruined my day and potentially the next 6 months of my life. What is me giving them an attitude really going to accomplish? And you know what's even worse than me tipping them? Whenever I have like a traumatic issue happen to me, my automatic response is, okay, just get through it. Just get through it. It'll be over soon. Just get through it. Every time I've ever had a bad haircut, I would always just smile through it. After the haircut, they were talking to me about like products to use in my hair. You know, at this point, like, you know, I'm aware of what I'm saying, but I'm just so checked out. I want to get out of the place. And they're like, you should consider this product and this product. It's really going to help you. I'm like, yeah, okay, yeah. I bought the product. I don't know if I'm going to use those products, but I have them. My head's already itchy. It's like 90 degrees here in New York. But I will not allow anybody to see me without a hat on. Unless you come check me out on tour. Hitting up the West Coast for the first time. I'll let everybody who comes to a show gander at the disgusting mess that is on top of my head. I will not cut it. I will not fix it. I still think that it was time for me to get a haircut, for sure. That I don't regret. I still believe in what I mentioned earlier about trauma being stored in the body and also in the hair and you carrying that. Whether you want to examine that metaphysically or however, I still believe in all that. I just wish I could have unloaded that old trauma without having to take on new trauma. That would have been nice. No happy endings here. Just bad haircuts forever. Joy is dead and God is not real. That was terrible. Thankfully, it grows back. Knock on wood. Where's wood? I have a guitar here somewhere. Hold on. Guitars. Are there going to be good songs coming out of this? Damn, I hope so. I initially was going to scrap this entire video, this entire vlog, but I figured it's cool to showcase what a really terrible moment in my life is like. Let's put this into perspective. If the worst thing that's happening in my life is a bad haircut, then may I have many more bad haircuts. And only bad haircuts. Yes, that's how I'm going to think about it. I guess that's how I'm going to spin this for myself, is that I'm going to wish for myself and for you guys. May the worst thing in life you experience be a bad haircut. And shout out to me for not cursing in this entire video. That's how much meditation works. Please don't ask me for pictures of my hair. I don't want anybody to see it. I'm not joking. Usually when something like this happens, when something bad like this happens, there's a lesson to learn, but I don't know what else I could have done. I still think the person, the hairstylist, is skilled. Maybe he lacks attention to detail. Maybe I should have been even more explicit about what I don't want this to look like. I don't know how else. I mean, I had pictures that I showed you minutes before, but whatever. Anyway, I'm going on tour soon. I have to see you there, and I will say hello, and so will this hideous monstrosity on top of my head. Count on it. God, just don't take a lot of pictures of it. Bye.